today's video, we're down in Hua Hin, guys. We're going to check out this area, do a full tour of the city and the pros and cons of what it's like living in here, or retiring to a place like Hua Hin. I've been visiting this area for over 15 years now, and it's an absolutely gorgeous place to come. And it starts with this beach here. Let's take a look at the beach. It's absolutely gorgeous. It goes 6 or 7 kilometers long, all the way along, right up to Hilton Hotel, right down to Monkey Mountain. Absolutely lovely stretch of beach. They have sunbeds where you can get food, drinks and anything you want. And later on in the video, we'll go and take a look at some of the other beaches near this area. I don't think, people come down here for the crystal clear water. It's just the lovely laid back vibe you have living in a place like this, or even visiting as a tourist. Just some advice for you if you're down on the beach, guys. Just be careful not to smoke on the beach. There is quite a hefty fine. They have tried to ban it on the beach completely, which is a good thing, I think, in my eyes. As you walk off the main beach and go past the horses, guys, you go up to, there's some shops actually up here where you can get some bits of food, fried chicken, this kind of thing, up to Soi 61, where we'll go and take a look now. As you walk up here, guys, you can get lots of clothes on the left hand side. There's toilets here as well if you need to go to the toilet. 5 baht as usual. Bananas 20 baht here. Coconuts 40 baht. Good deal as the motorbike comes past. Fried banana. Ooh. Tarai cap? Easy. Oh, okay. 20 baht. Gai yangด้วย. Fried chicken. Ooh. Looks good. But not today. You've got all your fruit juices and everything up here. It's that 50 baht. So here on the way out, you can rent bicycles, motorbikes, different sizes, so different prices. So the bicycles were about 200 baht, and then the motorbikes started 250 up to 500. But some of the motorbike, a lot more powerful. That's why they're a bit more expensive. They've also got, looks like they've got taxis down here as well, and there's more bikes for rent here too, by the look of it. There's loads and loads more choice for riding bikes if you're just coming out from the beach here. And then if you need a taxi, there's tuk-tuks here. So tuk-tuks here on either side as you go out. Not sure the price, depends where you go. So yeah, just make sure you quote the price, ask for the price before you get in the tuk-tuk. Probably a good idea, but there's absolutely loads of them here. So yeah, convenient. And then it comes out, there's a pizza place here, and it comes out onto Soi 61. If you go straight up there, and there's a good pub, there's Amazon Coffee up there, and a good pub, Father Ted's, which is like an Irish pub. Then as you come out from the taxis, you can also turn right. There's little places you can get food along here, guys. This is a good bar actually, Mai Tai. I've been in here a few times, good cheap beer in here. There's another one there as well, see, look. Chang Draft, look at that, 69, that's a good deal. That's really good cheap. I've been there before and I always notice it's really cheap in there. And it's a nice bar. They get lots of food in there. Lots of different types of food. Thai food, Western food, pizzas. Mai Tai, good bar. Been many times. Even took my parents there, I remember. And then Busy Bees there. And then yeah, opposite the Hilton, just coming up on a bit on the right hand side. Let's walk up a bit. There's the Hilton Hotel right up there. That's a good choice. Very centrally location if you stay in Hua Hin. If you can afford it, then Hilton Hotel is a good hotel to stay in. It's right in central Hua Hin. Ooh, got some chicken and fish there, look at that. And then the motorbike guys. I think there's 3 main areas for nightlife in Hua Hin, guys. Having a look now at Soi Bindabad. I think this area offers a mix of laid-back charm and, lively surprises, especially across Soi Bindabad, Soi 80 and Soi 94. Soi Bindabad is I think it's a chosen expat hangout, and tourists as well. Think like beer bars, pool tables, low-key relaxed bars where you can go and chill out. I think it suits the retiree because, there's comfy chairs in there where you can relax. I think this is a a good thing, and it's not too lively. Maybe, you know, holiday time, it does get very, very busy. Most days of the week, it's pretty quiet, to be honest with you, especially during different times of year. More expats go to areas like Soi 80. I think like the expat community go hang around there a bit more, and around maybe Soi 94 as well. It's kind of a newer area. I think that it's kind of a trendier strip with, you know, it's got livelier music, and, you know, maybe a younger crowd hangs out in that area, guys. But whether you're looking for, you know, quiet chats or a bit of fun and a party, there's something for everyone in these 3 different areas around Hua Hin, guys. There's 3 main markets in Hua Hin, which I think are worth visiting. The main market back in the town, which is like the main night market. Then they have this market. This is called Sisada Market. This is like a bit of an artsy market. And then down here, we'll take a look, is Tamarind Market. This is Tamarind Market. It's not open at the moment, but it opens on Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. There's just stalls everywhere selling Western food, Thai food, great prices, guys. I mean, you can't go wrong here. There's absolutely everything you could possibly want, guys. Western food, Thai food, everything, guys. Just driven up to the other main beach in Hua Hin, which is called, I'll put it on the screen here for you. This is another one, someone stay in this area sometimes. There's hotels all over Hua Hin in different areas, you know, from 5-star luxury down to real budget ones. People always ask me, you know, where do I stay in Hua Hin? It absolutely varies on your budget, you know. You can stay in, you know, 600-700 baht a night rooms, or you can stay in 20,000 baht a night room. It's just so different, it's unbelievable. So please don't ask me, because it's such a vague question. It could be anything. It just depends what you want. I mean, I've stayed in the budget ones, and I've stayed in the real decent ones, you know, like Centara, Hilton I've stayed at quite a few of the good ones. We've got some good deals over the years in some of them. I've tried out quite a few different ones, but to be honest, I've stayed in some budget ones as well, and they've been really good, and they've been like 800,000 baht a night, and they've been pretty good value for what, you know, how much I'm actually paying. So just look around, there are great deals to have in this area. This beach, you can drive right down and park your motorbikes here or the car here. I think this beach will be quieter for sure, you know, there's not as many people here. They got a couple of restaurants here, which is nice. And there's, yeah, so we're basically the other side. So this here, if you look over here, this is Monkey Mountain. I think this is what you call the second beach after the other side of there. That's the main beach, and then, you know, a lot of people come here for a bit of a quieter beach. And the good thing about this beach, I mean, the other one you can walk miles and miles, but this one is ridiculous. You can keep going. I mean, I've visited the other beaches up along this coastline, and absolutely gorgeous. Is this beach as nice as the main beach in Hua Hin? I don't think so, if I'm honest, you know, but it's definitely quieter if you want to come somewhere a bit quieter. Here again, they've got chairs on the beach, you know, you can buy food here too, guys. So there's 1 or 2 people swimming in the sea. It's beautiful, and it's starting to get a lot more busier now. I'm quite happy to see this. It's nice to see, you know, people coming back into this area. And there's a golf course up there, but I'm not walking up there, I'm too tired. It's so hot now. So there's a nice golf course up there, guys. This is new, I've not seen this before. This is a really good addition. I'm going to use this myself. So this is a herb sauna, so like a Finnish sauna. That looks awesome. I'm going to go try that somewhere. I think it's a company, I think they have a brand of it in another area I've been to before. Whether they've moved locations or something to a better location, but I'm definitely going to check that one out soon. Not today though, I'm too busy working, but another day. So if you're coming to this area to actually live, you know, a lot of my viewers are coming here to retire. So it's a bit different than if you're coming here as a tourist. So I think you need to look at, you know, what's good and what's bad about this city. So let's talk about this today. First pro would be unspoiled beaches in that area. Very, very clean. And, you know, compared to Pattaya and Phuket, I think there's less litter and they're just nicer, I think, personally. Absolutely fantastic for going walks along the beach, all times of day, early morning or late in the evening when the sun's going down, guys. Absolutely lovely. The next pro would be the low cost of living in that area. The rent, the food, the services in that area are very, very cheap compared to maybe other areas in Thailand like Phuket, which some people want to go to and retire there. And compared to Western countries, you know, you're going to save yourself a lot of money on accommodation, on electric and just general living costs, guys, coming to a place like here. I mean, I think personally, you know, I could live there as a single person for about 40,000 baht per month. Now, would that be a good life? It'd be okay. You'd have to stay in a condo away from the beach quite a lot. You'd have to get a really cheapo condo. You know, it'd give you a little bit of money. So I think a better budget would be anywhere between 50 and 60,000 baht per month. That would be as a single guy in Hua Hin, guys. The next pro would be you are next to the coastal there, so it's a coastal town, so there's nice sea breezes all the time. It's a little bit cooler and less humid and feels a little bit nicer temperature than some other places around Thailand. There is also really low rainfall in that area, so you know, if you're going to be living in that area, it's a great place. You know, it's not as wet as, let's say, down in Phuket. So the climate, the rainfall is a lot less in this area, guys. One of the first cons might be, you know, there's a lot of insects there and mosquitoes there during the rainy season. But you could argue that that's all over Thailand, guys. You know, you do need your mosquito repellent on a little bit. Another pro would be, you know, I think there's definitely, you know, less tourists than there are in places like Phuket and Bangkok. And especially during the low season, it's very, very quiet there and very, very peaceful. Guaranteed there are maybe a couple of months or 3 months of the year when it's very, very busy, you know, don't get me wrong. And weekends can be quite bustling sometimes. But generally, you know, it is quieter than them other two places. Another con would be that there are definitely not as many islands around that area. So, you know, down in Phuket, there's lots of islands to go and explore. Or if you're, you know, in Koh Samui, there's lots of islands around there to explore. So there's definitely less islands to explore around that area, guys. Another pro would be you're very, very close to Bangkok. You're only about 3 hours away. So you're 3 hours away from a big city, which is kind of important sometimes. You want to get back to the airport. You want to get back maybe for other reasons, you know. Sometimes you want to do some good shopping, you know, in Bangkok. There's some fantastic malls in Bangkok to go and shop in. And there's easy public transport that goes back to Bangkok, you know, buses. If you haven't got a car, then buses and vans that go back regularly to Bangkok and back to Hua Hin again. Another con might be, you know, that you do get a lot of traffic that comes down at the weekend from Bangkok. So it can make the city quite busy during that time. Some of the roads get very, very busy during them, you know, weekend days, Saturday and Sunday. Just do us a massive favor, guys. I don't ask a lot. Just please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel out. It helps push to people like yourselves who are looking at retiring in Hua Hin, guys. Press that red button. And back to the video, guys. Thanks very much. Relaxed lifestyle. I mean, I've said it on other videos. The Thai people are so chilled out. You know, Thailand has a very nice culture of everyone does everything very slowly and very calmly, and you know, apart from driving. But you know, generally, you know, life is taken quite laid back, and that's a good attitude to have when you know, you're older. That's a good thing to be able to embrace that from other people, that relaxed culture. I mean, on the opposite side of that, you know, some people may say it's too quiet. And I think maybe for a younger guy, it might be too quiet for some of you. I know people who've lived there for 2-3 years, and it is too quiet for some people. So, you know, you got to think about what you want yourself and what age group you are. I just had someone actually talk to me about this and, you know, thinking about living in Hua Hin with a family, and they're quite young still, they want to work online. And I was like really persuading them to kind of go towards Bangkok. You know, there's a lot more opportunity in Bangkok for work, I think. For a younger man coming over with a young family, I think there's more choice for schools. There's just more choice for activities and everything. It's a huge mega city, Bangkok. I think it's really good for younger people. Another pro would be, you know, there's a great choice of Western apartments in the town because it's a real big retirement hub there. So, you know, I think a lot of people are retiring there. There's a massive selection of Western style condos at reasonable prices, guys. I think one of the cons would be the healthcare can be pricey if you haven't got insurance. I mean, generally in Thailand, healthcare is cheap, but, you know, some of the hospitals can be a little bit expensive if you haven't got medical insurance. That's why it's really, really important to get medical insurance when you come to Thailand, guys. And that can be pricey when you get of an older age, like most of my subscribers are. Another pro would be, you know, it's a super safe place to come and retire or live there with your family. You know, if you're coming with a younger family as well, it's a lovely place to come. Very safe. I've never felt any danger there at all over Thailand, but you know, there especially. Another con might be, you know, I think for some people maybe the nightlife's a little bit quiet. For me it's perfect, but you know, for some people they want a bit more atmosphere, like Phuket or down in Pattaya, you know, where it's a bit more buzzing going on there. But I mean, that just, yeah, depends that just goes with the whole vibe of the city here. Yes, there are a couple of months in high season where the bars get really busy, but generally, you know, it's pretty quiet kind of area. Another con would be, you know, some of the foods are a bit pricey if you're importing foods in, you know, if you're getting imported goods like I do all the time. You know, if you're getting this, then, you know, it does mount up. I'll put on the screen now, you know, some expensive things that, you know, are in Thailand. You can get them cheaper online if you look around, but, you know, they are a little bit more money sometimes for that kind of thing if you're after some of your Western comforts from home. Con would be that, you know, there's a lot of development going on there, so maybe there's a bit of building noise in some areas. You know, there is a lot of development there. You know, there's a lot of people going there or retiring over to this area now, and it's a very popular up and coming area. So, you know, there is a lot of development, and it is going to get busier and busier for sure over the next 5-10 years for sure. And it's probably going to expand down the coast, and, you know, everyone's going to retire in that area more and more. So if you're thinking about coming to this area, I do really recommend it. I hope you come and retire. I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Been a bit of an insight into Hua Hin and this area. If you're looking at retiring in Thailand, you know, my channel has lots of different videos about retirement in Thailand, and in particular Hua Hin, and I do regular videos as much as I can, guys. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.